Welcome everyone. I have today two quick union reads and a twin flame read. I wanted to do both of the union reads. Well, the first one is a 3-4-5D read. The second one is a 4D 5D 6D read, and then the twin flame read. One of the 3D 4D 5D had 4 kings in it, so I wanted to bring up that union read, and then the 4-5-6D read had a special message about the 6D, so I wanted to make sure that came out as well. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day around the world. And I'm going to show you first the reads, okay? So the first read is the 3D, 4D, 5D union. And I'm just going to show you the setup quickly. So the bottom row is the 3D, 4D, and 5D on the top. The left is the feminine, the right's the masculine, the middle is the bridge between them. The incoming divine feminine over here, the outgoing divine masculine here, the underlying energy up here, and then the closing energy here. And you notice in this 3D, 4D read, 3D, 4D, 5D, there's 4 kings. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All 4 kings, okay? And then in the 4D, 5D read, there's another different message. So you see, remember we were talking about as we get up into the upper realms, you're going to see more blues. And today the 6D has the 5 and 6 of flames up here. And the message I was getting is that this is a placeholder because the masculine's really not working in the 6D right now. This is the feminine hanging out in the 6D. And the message was that the divine masculine, and that's the masculine within the feminine as well, went from the wands, because in the tarot it goes wands, cups, swords, and then pentacles as the final mastering. So the masculine comes in and does the wand energy, right, the wounded warrior energy, and then skips straight to the pentacles to master their finances, right? And they skip the heart, the cups, and then the swords, and they basically have to go back and do that over again. So it's like skipping over the cups, but then they have to redo the cups and then come through the swords again. So it's like in the 5D here, the masculine's at the 2 of swords and the feminine's at the queen of swords into the 6D. And here the masculine's just like a placeholder for the masculine, that he's not really there yet. And then we have the twin flame read here. Okay, sorry, I don't know why it's not focusing very well. There we go. Okay. So those are the 3 reads, and I'm going to get right into the first union read. Of course, the twin flame read is in front of you now. For the 3D, 4D, 5D read, this was done at 6:03 last night, a 6 of the lovers, the 3 of the empress. And by the way, what did I watch last night? I watched 2 movies, The Deadly Illusion, and then I watched The First Line, which had to do with fighting for the Parthenon, the marble that the British Museum holds, and Greece fighting for that. And Greece has been coming up all week. So Greece was definitely coming up here. And the energy of fighting for justice, right? To get back what was rightly belonging to Greece, which still hasn't happened, I believe. But again, in the journey that we've been through, we learn that we let go of the justice and trust that the universe has our back, and that will allow, will automatically correct these things for us. That we don't need to fight, we just need to speak our truth and allow the chips to fall where they may. So in this 3D, 4D, 5D union with the 4 kings, we start out with the 5 of wands and the underlying energy, the knight of swords in the center, and then the chariot at the end. Expanding, burning, and the 5D messenger of truth ascending. The incoming divine feminine being the indigo, the king of cups, and the king of wands. The proposal to the king of cups and the king of wands. Unconditional love and shamanism, right? The King of Cups is unconditional love. The King of Wands in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, is the shaman. And the 3D here is the Page of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. The Divine Feminine inspired, the Divine Masculine in the lap of luxury, or a feminine energy in his energy in the lap of luxury, bridging with the King of Pentacles or Akashic Records, the Master of Crystals, and manifestation in the earthly realm. The Indigo Sun, the King of Cups, loving, the King of Wands shaman, or that 70s guy. So that could be someone who likes to hang out and get high. And a feminine grateful to the sun, or sun expecting her to be grateful to them. Perhaps doing something for them or doing a favor. The outgoing divine masculine here is the Starseed, the King of Swords, and the Justice. The fresh start with the big download, and the King of Swords, venerable or very respectable, Justice or Libra, and the Queen of Cups in the islands or in the jungle. The King of Swords with multiple ladies around them, or Aries and Libra and Cancer. The Divine Feminine with Gemini or Virgo energies. And in the 4D is the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Three of Wands. Small messages back and forth from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. And now the Divine Feminine in return, shedding or spreading a little light, and the Divine Masculine present to the gift of the flame and the moment. Bridging with the Divine Feminine, then sending a bigger message, or the Divine Masculine with a note to themselves. In the 5D is the Six of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Six of Swords. The inner children, or the outer children, the kids, from the past, loving each other, the Divine Masculine with truth rising to the surface, getting ready to play ball. Bridging between with the Four of Wands home and union by the dolphins, and then Key Largo is coming up, because when I was 14, I went to Key Largo before it actually, I think it was a fire that burned it down. But they used to have like a lunch restaurant there by a dolphin show by the bridge where, you know, the dolphins would put on a performance while you ate lunch there. It was really beautiful. I almost got run over by a plane there too. We were riding bikes and there's like a private airstrip right there. And we're riding our bikes, all of a sudden there's a plane wing over our head. It was a very cool adventure down there. The Divine Feminine here is in the 3D, inspired by the 4D message, bringing two together to hug in 5D. The Divine Masculine with the Queen of Cups in 3D, and the 4D gift of the flame, and red skies at night, Sailor's Delight, and the 5D, Lemurian games in the moat. Lemurian games in the moat. The bridge here between them is the 3D King of Pentacles, which in this deck is the Akashic Records also, leaving karma behind, the 4D Knight of Swords, passing messages upward to 5D home and union. So in a bold move onward and upward. The number grid for this first union read was 19 overall, which is the sun. The horizontal pillars were 16, 3, and 0, and the vertical were 5, 6, 4, 4. So the message being regarding the tower with sudden events and or epiphanies of the Empress, or abundant source energy here, and the sun. And it's incredible how many times 0 has come up on one of these horizontal lines over the past week or so of unions reads that I've done. The source energy keeps coming up along with the sun. So the tower can represent also, and the Empress is abundance as well. So that can just represent the solar flares and the bursts of energy coming in suddenly to make us more abundant again. But also the Hierophant, lovers, grounding, integrating, and receiving love, and that can be commitment to self as well as traditional roles, knowing and quiet with the two emperors in the space. So someone knows when to stay quiet when there's two emperors around, and those may be the two men who are watching on the ground. So also the number 644 is standing out right here. And again, the sun, full energy, the springtime, and full exposure coming up here. Also the number 641 and 5 and 3 on their own. 5 being the Hierophant, but also expansion, change, freedom. And the 3 of the abundance and the Empress here, and Gaia. So, and again, that was the 4 Kings read. So again, 4 kings represents mastering, all 4 corners of the world, all 4 suits. So the second read was the 4D5D60 at 7:02 p.m. last night. 7 is the chariot, 2 is the high priestess. And again, this is more geared towards the divine feminine energy, but both within the masculine and the feminine. The 4D5D60 is leaving the 3D behind, so out of karma completely. With the Queen of Pentacles Ascension and the Page of Cups as the underlying, the central energy, and then the final energy. The Queen of Pentacles pissing away money perhaps and taking the world by the balls, ascending, world travel, and the Page of Cups opening their heart to all. The incoming divine feminine being the Ace of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles, right? Love, the twins, and the divine feminine's heart. New love of the twin flames and the divine feminine's heart in the E-Tower, while the masculine is outside preparing and working with crystals. Loving self, choosing path of reaping rewards of their efforts. The 4D here is the Knight of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Knight of Cups. Remember, the 4D is the bottom line in this read. The divine feminine proposal of help, and this is the Knight of Pentacles. The divine masculine with the Knight of Cups, proposal of love, and bridging the two with the Tower of Epiphanies, sudden events, and that can be sex as well, but without Spidey's help. And Spidey has come up as a friend, scaling the walls to try to help his friend or save them from a jam, but no longer needing that assistance. The 5D here is the Queen of Swords, the World, and the 2 of Swords. The divine feminine with the truth and reed, like the stalk of a plant. The rod and staff, the Excalibur, and help getting it out. The divine masculine knowing and floating on air. She in a mosaic, the living part of the puzzle, the work of art. He in a virtual reality, not aware, too numb to figure it out. The bridge between, by the divine feminine taking the world by the right hand, the masculine hand, the storm in the Middle East, cold in Greece, and fog in India here. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves comes up. All sorts of women coming into their power in the 5D by being them and showing others the way by that example. In the 6D is the Hanging Man, the 6 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. And like I said, the 6 of Wands and 5 of Wands is like a placeholder for the masculine because he's not really working in 6D right here. The divine feminine hanging 5 to release the distorted divine masculine. The divine masculine in waves expanding their fire, bridging with one big flame and taking the lead per 5 others. So again, when you're in 6D, you don't need to teach and learn so much. It's more about just leading by example or just being, right? Because then you're in that 6D energy. Because remember, when you go to 7D, your body disappears. You can no longer see it in this reality. The fire drill, the cell duplication, the fight or flight. When the bell goes off at the school for a fire drill, there is spontaneous alignment, right? So everyone gets in chaos because the bell goes off, and then there's organization and alignment. Everyone lines up to go out the door peacefully to lead into creation. Out the door, the threshold or 0 point to 7D, which is here no more. The 4D purgatory with kindness and compassion. The 5D being authentically you and leading by example. The 6D of wisdom, no need to teach or learn, just to be human. And to know the difference and choose to play here on earth while you still can. The divine feminine here is the 4D Knight of Pentacles, the 5D Queen of Swords, and the 6D Hanging Man. No need to be seen or heard, no need to hear or see. Just be one with the world. The divine masculine of the 4D Knight of Cups, the 5D knowing and floating on air, the 6D expanding in waves, sine waves, vibrational frequency, and the need to elevate that. The bridge here is the 4D Tower of despair, drama and epiphanies, and again, sudden events, epiphanies, and sexual orgasm here. The 5D world complete, the master of the world, that you are so much more than that. The 60 journey as triggered once more right out of this world in a final ghosting, again, the 7D. Everyone with torches and lighters saying, where'd they go? The outgoing divine masculine, the transition, the 9 of cups and the 3 of swords. The portal of light to get your wish from the ship's light in the storm. Service for 5, a feast to send them on their way with love and the page of cups. Love and death, the twin flames, and self-satisfaction, the divine feminine's heart, the lighthouse, and the storm, and then the dawning of the new day, a christening of sorts. Okay, and then we have Easter coming up. So this grid ended up with the number 35, which is the wounded warrior, which represents the Christ and the Mary Magdalene, the Jesus and Mary Magdalene on the cross, and the resurrection. And the vertical pillars came up as 11, 2, and 22, or justice, the high priestess and the fool. The horizontal pillars came up, or actually those were the horizontal pillars. The vertical pillars came up 1, 2, 7, 6, 7, 9, 3. And the message is coming up around justice and the high priestess, which is secrets and psychic abilities, keeping to oneself, and then the fool with an open heart, ready to take a leap of faith. So the justice is in truth and balance, and being in your knowing with an open heart, always ready to leap in faith. And we had 11, 2, and 22 here. Very much the magician and the high priestess energy here. And then the magician, ignited by lovers in the chariot with the hermit and the empress, and the 35 of the wounded warriors, that victim mentality and letting that go in resurrection, right? Letting the victim mentality, hanging on the cross, dying, letting that go, and then rising to the occasion. Okay, so here's the twin flame read. And again, so much about Greece and the Parthenon coming up right here, the Elgin marbles, and Athena. So all about Athens, Greece. And you notice Athena is A, then A, right? And then is at a different time than now. And the 2 A's on either side came up like in all for one and one for all when I broke that down as the 4-1 and the 14, and all in all with 2 11s in them, and then the 2 A's on either side, like matching bookends. The then in the middle, the space between now and then, and double A's. Okay, so we have here the twin flames at 844 to 45. Well, I cut the deck at 820, which is 8 of strength and 20 of the judgment card. And today is the 19th. 19 is the sun. And what do we have here? 19, 22, 24, 26, 27 today, which is the Ace of Wands. That, you know, that big new flame, that passion, that ignition, lighting that fire under your butt. That's the energy of today, along with the sun. So there's a lot of fire energy today, a lot of energy and happiness and full exposure with the sun at 8:20, and judgment here too with the 20. We finished clarifying here at 8:44 to 45, the strength card and the dance, the 44 of the 4 of cups, the grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, and the 45 of the grieving process, to let it go, the alchemical process. The major arcana in this read, we have Ascension, which is the world, Chariot, Transition, which is the Death card, Guidance, which is the Hierophant. Beneath this read in the underlying energies was Abundance, and after the read, the Shadow came up. Abundance is the Empress, and Shadow is the Devil. We had 2 swords, 1 cup, 3 pentacles, and 1 wand. So a lot of pentacles here, which isn't just money, it's about the energies of day-to-day life, the practicalities of life. And then we had the King of Swords in the read. That was the only court card in the read, the King of Swords. Before the read, the Knight of Cups came up, and after the read, the Knight of Swords and the King of Pentacles came up. So a lot of male energy. Excuse me. We had, as far as the numbers in the code line, was all about taking a time out. We had 66, that was the only double number, the Queen of Pentacles. We also had the 1 of the Magician, the 8 of the Strength card, the Dance, the 10 of the High Vibration, the Turn for the Better, the Destiny here, and then 13 of the Death card, 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands, 56 of the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping the energy to yourself, 68 of the Page of Pentacles, 89 of the Phi energy, right, which is the reflection of the 98, the human body temperature, and then the 910 begin again and again and again. So the code line, all about the time out, and it was kind of like the first letters coming up in the code line were all Greek to me, so it was very Greek today. The messages, just one message coming up, so listen carefully to this, and then we'll get right into the read. It was a very significant download that I got in the read today. So the code line here regarding time out, and the number on the code line was 17, the star coming from 6, 6, and 5. So lovers times 2, and the 5 of the Hierophant, which also can be the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and the 5 of the freedom and change and expansion into the star, and the star expands their light. And the Queen of Pentacles and her commitment to herself, as well as the 2 separate lovers committing to selves. So the message here regarding time out and Deadly Illusion, and the first line, which were the movies I watched. The sloth being someone else, 3-toed and pale-throated. The penis, these are all definitions of the words that came up in the code line. The penis tip and the hole opening to copulate, and so you obviously know what that means. The friend, his father, the owl and crab, I am that I am, twin flame lovers expanding and contracting as lovers in a high vibrational expansion, freedom and change. The chariot, the 7, the divine feminine within the masculine, and the dragonfly, right? So I don't know if you've ever seen dragonflies mating, but they look like a 4-inch stick. I don't know if it's 4 inches, but a stick floating in the air, and they land on a plant because they're end to end, right? The one's tail grabs the other's head, and they look like a stick flying, and they land on a plant and fold over into a heart shape and then start moving back and forth, right? That's their love dance. So that energy was very much coming up here. But again, the dragonfly, and then the and grabbing the other one around their head, right, their neck, choking them off in that mating energy, which is coming up around the praying mantis too, right, who bites the masculine's head off. The expanding and contracting, the love and time out, and the Greek energy here, and the wounds coming up from that. And I have to say that when I watched the movie last night, the first line, it was a very different kind of movie. A lot of wounding was coming up right away. I felt like I was right there, and I was empathing off of their emotions in the movie. So you might want to check that out, because there may be some wounds that want to come up. There was also the energy of the head and foot, the squid and octopus. And if you think about a squid and an octopus, they're all head and legs, right? There's no body in between. And the energy of eye-foot coordination came up the other day, and here head and foot was coming up, as well as the sawfly, which regarding the saw that cuts into the leaves, but also the wings, but no body. The eye-foot coordination. And then I was getting, and don't forget how important your feet are too, and I forget this too, right? Because you have all your connection points in your feet. So, to give yourself a foot massage, or, a salt bath for your feet would be really helpful to pull some of those toxins out of your body. So right at 10:44, as I'm getting started to translate the read, at 10:44, which is 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, and that turn for a better destiny, and the 44 of the grounding, integrating, mastering of love, especially receiving it, they literally said in the movie, the first line, this bull can find his way through the labyrinth. Okay, this bull can find his way through the labyrinth, like no problem. I can handle the puzzle, the fight, my way to the middle, to 0 point of the injustice. This bull can find his way through the labyrinth. Okay. So we start out with the King of Swords upright. Beneath the King of Swords upright was the Knight of Cups reversed, the Four of Wands, the home or union, the Ten of Cups upright, right, the emotional family, the emotional fulfillment, the happy ending, and then the Four of Cups reversed and the abundance upright. The Knight of Cups reversed can be jealousy, insincerity, moodiness, rejection. But the jealousy of the home and the castle, the Parthenon coming up, the emotional fulfillment, and the 10 commandments coming up around that as well. And starting over with the Empress and the King of Swords. And this can be, and in the movie, he was talking all about the Parthenon as the feminine, the divine feminine, and defending her honor. And Spirit's connecting with me. The Empress and the King of Swords. Right? The Empress is the divine feminine and the King of Swords, her defender. And then he literally, as I'm translating the Four of Cups reversed, in the movie at 11:07, which is Justice and the Chariot, he says, I am an island. As I'm writing, the Four of Cups in this deck is the island to themselves. The weight of the world upon his shoulders. The Queen of Pentacles, ... And then I was getting, at 11:10, mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. In the movie, there was police action going on in Greece, and she, the feminine lead there, was having flashbacks back to her little girl, when her little girl was seeing all this trauma around her. The feminine remains calm and sharing, balanced in deception and surrender to fires and red skies and freedom for prisoners. And hello, Sophia came up right there as well in the movie. The dawn of surrender and release. The Page of Cups, the innocent, the corrupt world, and dissatisfaction and arrogance. The Eight of Wands reversed and the High Priestess reversed, holding back desires at 11:20, justice and judgment, holding back true desires in a heated exchange, negative debate of secret passion, delays and a need to use their intuition. And again, here in the movie, the masculine's fighting for justice, for honor of Athena and the Parthenon, and his feminine counterpart, also a legal person, being much more calm and intuitive and going within, wanting peace. The secret is out upon a shelf, shelved along with 99 bottles of beer on the wall, trashed, and it's owned shelved along with their secret passion, out for display only. So the secret that's out upon the shelf, along with the 99 bottles of beer on the wall, trashed, the secret out on the shelf, and whoever owns this, shelved along with their secret passion, out for display only. 9 golds prop her up as 2 flames over her moon. 9/11 comes up here, plus 2 and 8. 2, which also can be another 11, and 8, the emergency for the twin flames. The 9/11, but then 11 and 8. The Parthenon, which sides are 8 by 17, or the 2 ends being 8 columns, and then on the sides minus that would be 15 and 15. So it's 46 altogether, which is the 6 of Cups, the children loving each other in the Garden of Eden. The 1134 comes up here, of 11 of Justice, the 34 of the energetic exchange between the innocent children. The Page of Wands upright, and the love between these two characters in the movie, even they were fighting a legal fight here, Awakening, it's about the relationship when they were young and the love that they had between each other and the trauma that they saw together. The Page of Wands upright and Spirit's connecting with me. Awake to the sovereign, the divine feminine overcoming the war path and chooses peace. Here's where the feminine chooses peace. And the hanged man rises. His counterpart rises with him above the brokenness of the human spirit. At 1141, which is Justice and the Ace of Cups, England versus Greece versus Egypt and India and Ireland, her runaways to 13 sections, her dark night of the soul, England that is, to a state of independence and free elections, freedom land and home of the brave, to go against the grain, to be who they are and not what others say they must be. In a pirouette on tippy toes, a shift in the psychic weather, her highness must go, per the Cancer who fell by chariot and rose to be their one. And all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Diana back together again and make it all better. Poetic justice for Poe, Edgar, and Allen. Unknown death, Poe and tree, poetry, Edgar Casey, and all an allegory of her true life story. Love and the human spirit's power to overcome all at the hand of love. A turn of the cheek and splendor of the twist. In the bat of an eye, we no longer exist. You can break the chariot, the vehicle, but not its contents. The two hearts that beat as one, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, who tango forever onward, whispering in the wind. You can rise to the challenge, but only one can ever win. Chemistry comes up here for the divine masculine and feminine, and beneath that, that you deserve love. Leaning on the truth of the Two of Cups, the lovers of purification, bringing the light to the shadow, in identification, for the label is necessary. To label the unknown is to make it known and shown, dispelling the fears of illusionary tears. Home detoxing, the swings, no longer marking territories. The circle of trust is in 1-to-1, us, and there's the US coming up as well. Not how many you can duck away from. 2x 41 comes up here, which is 2x or 2 x's or 2 times 41, is not the right question. For 2 times 41 equals 82, and 28 or twin flames is the number, and 82 is its reflection. No 2 x's, 41, which is the Ace of Cups and love, but all for one, not 2 x's for one in the fall. Music comes up here, number 32, and beneath that was completion. Number 9, in the underlying energy. The 32 of the music, and the day the music died, and the completion of the 9, which is the ending, and the fat lady sang. The Page of Swords is reversed here, starting out with bad news, no news, rumors, spying, lying, and negative self-talk blues. The Page of Swords reversed, perhaps with a mouth, about defenselessness, to social distancing, bad influences, and third parties, not willing to take responsibility, recovering from exile, homelessness, starving, injuries and illnesses, the arrows of love backfiring, with the Empress reversed, making away with the goods, property, thoughts, heart, ghosting, out the back, Jack, the thief in broad daylight, behind filigree and lacy gates, no grace for the Empress reversed, for sale, causing delays on purpose, and heated exchange just for fun, right, and kicks. Tripping on the way out the door, don't look back, Jack, you are what you hold. Foundations destroyed and no sheep to count, all on hiatus, refusing any amount at 12:21. And then when hiatus came up, hiatal hernias came up, right? Because the hiatal hernia is the hernia of the muscle between the esophagus and the stomach at the solar plexus. A breaking of the muscle, of the ability to have nutrition, to stomach something, right? To be able to swallow something and stomach it, not allowing it to come down. Take a deep breath. At 12:22, which is the hangman, after 12:21, the hangman in the world, here's the hangman and the fool with an open heart, ready to take that leap of faith after the end of the cycle into the new. Sneaking out without telling from the King of Swords with secret passion and a new need to use their intuition. So this could be the Empress reverse sneaking out the back jack, or actually the King of Swords doing this. It can be either one depending on your situation. But the King of Swords is upright and the Empress is reversed. There's a need to use their intuition. A broken Pisces reversed and Cancer reversed, perhaps in a breakup with two lovers, or Gemini reversed too. Music to your ears, perhaps. The underlying energy prior to all of this in this read is the Three of Pentacles, which for me is the co-creation card, the workplace, or any place of co-creation, whether it's school, church, an arts center, a gym, whatever it is for you. And then after this read, the energy is coming up here at the top. Was an offer of a new life, or an offer to silence someone. The twin, the Empress upright here, looking back at the King of Cups, refusing to give love to the children or himself. A payoff to choose Dark Empress, willing to go back to the King of Cups if he denounces his twin and or in other words, himself. In the recent past is the Five of Crystals, upright. The Hermit in exile or out in the cold, presenting the whole truth to the Knight of Swords rushing in, juggling, performing, in need of help, or can't get no satisfaction, offering time, money, and effort, a new life to silent one, or to silence them, and come together to work on aligning with dreams of the Queen of Cups, or the Star, the Dream Girl, the Healed or the Healer, the Queen of Cups focused on heart, or Aquarius outshining the Queen of Cups, and that is the goal there, or in exchange, no love for the truth here. So a release from a mental prison, or bailed out of jail, just to experience the nightmare and suffering and silence and bleeding out of the Queen of Pentacles with a handle on the truth. So, and that's just like the movie where the feminine was always very calm during the whole trial here, but the masculine was always, so on a roll about needing to get justice, right? So the foundation here is the Six of Cups upright, the fond memories, the soulmates, the children, the inner children, loving each other in delay after delay, post-war, in divorce or break from injustice, religion, establishment, Taurus, to start over in love with sunshine or Leo or kids or pets, and or expose all. Or Taurus reversed and Leo upright, making up. And remember, those are the two ego energies of the Taurus bull, the stubbornness, and the Leo ego, making up. This also can be someone with Taurus in their chart and someone who is Leo, making up. And that could be children as well. The central energy is ascension, the world reversed or not ascending, the divine feminine in the 5D world on a quest for the gold, right? This is the Christ consciousness, with the King of Pentacles reversed down and the Hermit shedding light on it, or fighting with advisor, or Hermit or Virgo, and the Queen of Cups bearing all in connection or partnered with the King of Pentacles reversed, which at minimum can be someone who's ungrounded and having a bad day, lost money or status, or it can be someone who's greedy and doesn't care about anyone else. Pisces and Virgo, and challenged by the Chariot reversed, stuck, broken, chaos, a paralyzed world. The Page of Wands, inspired to bring joy to this upside-down world of transformation. Pisces reversed and Scorpio upright, Aquarius upright, or the world turned around with death or ending, announcement, dark night wake-up call, and judgment to the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, community, legacy, the world, the elites, the Divine Feminine's nightmare of being uncomfortable and not walking away, and the High Priestess reverse, secret passion, or the secret that's out in all business relationship, with Hermit missing their flame, burdened and caught with their pants down, or in the weeds, or in the woods, the King of Pentacles reversed, no savior, and the Page of Wands inspired but with their mask on, and the Emperor upright, dazed and confused, with heaven in his eyes, fantasy red couch and mirror, and the Magician with magic DNA strand on break at 12:56, the Hangman, and the Two of Swords being in their knowing and keeping to themselves, the Divine Masculine left behind only with a backpack and nothing else, and justice prevailing and on the mercy of the court. Now present is the Ace of Pentacles upright, the Diamond in the rough, destined Knight of Pentacles reversed, which can be a stubborn energy, stuck and stubborn mule, seeing synchronicities but insisting that they don't, of the Sovereign, with clarity and clarity frustrating or abused by thief in the day or night. Two Cups connection with the Empress, mother and daughter who are tight, and the Knight of Pentacles reverse, stuck in confusion or with too many choices or delusions of grandeur. The Libra and Taurus here, and Dream Girl, and unable to express their love to them, knowing she may resist his advances in a void dance of putting it out there, coming clean to heal and forgive, needing strength and courage and good health, resisting sudden changes, and now a big mess to clean up, moving to peace or taking a vacation to implement a plan for justice and patience, truth and balance, and a higher love, the judge and jury, and making a choice and sticking to it. Closing the distance gap with Sagittarius with an attitude, using her feminine wiles, and asking, what's your poison? The Knight of Wands reversed falls every time, with the Queen of Swords reversed taking a swing or threatening to spread the word, or email. Sagittarius reversed, or Gemini or Virgo, or Aries reversed, in 5D connect out in the cold with justice, or closed for vacation, and customers are turned away. Soon here is the Ten of Wands, the Atlas, weight, and the world, defenseless to energies and attacks, feeling ganged up upon by the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, community, legacy, or world. At home, perhaps without excuse, ending pain or in a painful ending and betrayal, the Magician letting go to fix with the King of Swords, perhaps feeling a fool and frustrated, or a fall from grace without growth, creativity or a sex life, or abused, the Twin Flames, the Six of Pentacles, clobbered by love, but sharing this energy of the Page of Cups upright, the innocence of heart, and the King of Cups upright on break or laying things to rest, with the Emperor, or control, or one of them has been laid to rest, or a child is not growing, or is frustrated, and the King of Cups is telling the Emperor to give them a break, or the Emperor is the child of the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, and trying to save face with his father, who's now trying to give love for once, and the Emperor child really wanting to love them back. But there's an issue of pride and stubbornness here. Make the effort and worth waiting for, and Spirit's connecting with me, or trying anyway. That was a message. Take a deep breath. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is transition upright, the portal, the happy ending, and Scorpio upright, coming together at work, in a breakup or no affection of Gemini and Capricorn both reversed and detoxing chaos, or Scorpio's happy and Gemini and Capricorn are not. The block for the twins here is no guidance, perhaps a break or a divorce or alternative belief systems, and the Queen of Wands upright who's jealous, or with the Knight of Cups reversed who's rejected and sad and or jealous or insincere, or feeling guilty or shamed here at 121. The one of the Magicians, the 21 of the world again, and the need for completion, because the world's reversed in the middle of this read. It's 10:55 on the clock, which is destiny of the truth, 55, the Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. Taurus reversed here with time out, but even more so, financial discipline and self-discipline. And remember, the word discipline in itself means to be the disciple of one's self, your higher self. At 122, the Magician and the Fool, making the magic and then leaping with an open heart. The reunion and the new life, released, falling for the Six of Cups, lovers, out in the cold together, making magic on break with justice for all. Detoxing, shadow work, messaging the past, or looking back, feeling pushed to the emotional limit with the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, having it out, with the Page of Swords stepping up to support, and the King of Wands watching off to the side, or off sides. Issues between the Knight of Wands reversed and the King of Wands upright, again the Father and Son energies, and the Queen of Swords reversed, message released. The Knight of Swords is passing 5D messages and coming together with the King of Pentacles reversed, who can't get no satisfaction. So getting back on the horse and leading the way with good news, or trying to do so anyway. The King of Swords with the Six of Cups, sharing in transition of hermit and exile of the group, with the world upside down and a need for closure or the end of the cycle, or halfway around the world. Challenged by brokenness and burden and lack of guidance, or burdened by break, divorce, or Taurus reversed, and an offer of a new life or payoff to release from prison or bailed out, to get bailed out, to detox and be the messenger of truth, in reunion with the King of Pentacles reversed, who could be arrogant here, getting all the attention at 131, which is the Magician, and expansion of the Five of Wands. The King of Swords, hermit in exile, out the back, Jack. The Six of Cups, soulmates or children loving each other, but incomplete, with the world upside down, challenged by brokenness and an offer of a new life, or perhaps a payoff. Sharing or settling out with burden of Atlas and dark to light in transition spiritually of release and shadow work and detoxing of chaos. Rushing in with a message of truth, to the group and or reunion, and the King of Pentacles reversed, who's unhappy with themselves. The Knight of Cups reversed is coming up with home and family, and the Empress reversed, an island to herself, with the King of Swords upright, or that could be her lawyer, or she got scammed, or the shaft, or vice versa. Kids are coming up happy and sharing, but the world broken down, allowing for a new life and release, to allow love in, at 138, which is the Magician and the Queen of Cups. So we're going to pull some oracle cards here. Let's see what we have here. It's 4805, which is the walking away and within, and the expansion and freedom and change. The 1059 is the 11th hour, as we're upon 11 o'clock exactly. So 1059 is a turn for the better with the Five of Swords, which is that war energy and the ending of the war at the 11th hour, which is the 0 point, the moment before the 12 o'clock, or the 11 o'clock here. And 10 is the turn for the better, and 11 is justice, truth and balance. So we're literally at the 11th hour of justice. So let's see what the energy deck says for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what we need to know and learn here as we come up on 4848, which is the walking away and within. And so let's clear all blocks from positive energy flow in all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding and galactic cords across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and reality for the highest good of all those concerned. And fill any empty spaces with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light, and the pieces of our souls that need to come back to us now. And so it is. All right, so from the energy deck, these cards just flew out. I'm going to shuffle again, but I want to show you what flew out. The door to romance, rest and rejuvenation, angel of balance, 48. That's that walking away and within. The third chakra, 37. I was just talking about the solar plexus, right? The confidence and the gold, the unconditional love, and then the 49 of the angel of love, who's focused on her heart. A lot of beautiful people. Look at how balanced this energy is, right? The door to romance is opening, with rest and rejuvenation of the sun, and this is the Christ vibration, and Easter coming up, this 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself, the peace of rest and rejuvenation, the walking away and within when needed to create balance. The 37 of the confidence in the solar plexus, the connection to the solar plexus of the winged realm and unconditional love, and the angel of love also winged with 49, the get your wish card, in loving self, self-satisfaction. All right? The heart, the solar plexus, the angel of balance, right? The yin-yang energy, but you have 3 wingeds here, and here's the divine masculine again. Remember, because we talked about the feminine being into 6D, but the masculine still working on the 5D here of the sun, learning how to be still and rest and just be, and the Christ vibration here of the door to romance, of loving oneself first. And then this really beautiful, peaceful energy here. Look at that. And it's also like this of the masculine taking a break to love themselves first, you know, in the door to romance, romancing themselves, romancing the stone, and after they've rested themselves, taking a break on their own, and here it can be coming together. This could be children or very loving energies instead of ones who want to take from them, okay? This is the masculine coming into his divine masculine. We're surrounded by only loving energies. So we're going to pull again because I want to see what comes up again, because I wasn't finished shuffling when they popped out. But take a deep breath. For the twins, our takeaway for this read. Is there anything more to add to that? All tied up. Such the King of Wands. And he came up too as the father with the son, right? The father playing coy or playing games, being all tied up, never having time for their child, right? Flirting. Oh, but it's okay. You love me anyway, right? It's that kind of energy. And then here comes the sun with 2 cards. Oh, that's all these cards are upright, but this one was reversed from, I guess, when I was showing last, but it's meant to come up reversed, which means the Knight of Wands was coming up reversed, though. Yeah, Knight of Wands here, the 25 here, is coming up reversed in this read. And the King of Wands is coming up upright. However, in this deck, the energies are opposite from that, right? Because for me, the King of Wands is more this energy, not playing games, but being the man of passion, very confident, right? A man of confidence doesn't need to play games. So this is like the reverse of that, and the same with this. This is the deceit energy of the Knight of Wands reversed, but this would be the upright. So it's really like this. It's really like this in the read. Okay? You know, the King of Wands is upright in the read. He's no longer playing games, but the child energy is still very on guard, right? Because they've been so hurt as a child. And that's the energy coming up here. And then we have the victory here between the two. They're both playing games. The 28 of choosing new path of peace and the twin flames is the victory. Peace is the victory. And that was coming up in the movie last night. The feminine literally said to him in the movie, if I have a choice between water and peace, I choose peace. Okay? So we have the bottom of the deck is the anxiety. So the 18 of the moon and the false light, the illusion, and then the balance beneath that, the need to be the fool with the open heart, taking a leap of faith in perfect balance, the yin yang. And then look at all of this, you know, this negative energy coming up here. This was the energy, and then the resolving of those energies between the father and son, and the feminine aiding in victory of showing the peaceful way here of the twin flames and the path. And then we end up with the balance and the victory here. Okay. So from the journey of love, let's see what we get here. The journey of love. 5454 on this clock, which is the Page of Swords times 2, 2 messages, or a little bit of light, a little bit of information, perhaps an email, but twins, we'd both come up as the same number twice. 54, what was the first one? Can't even remember now. All right, so from the journey of love, what is our takeaway today? What is our message today from the journey of love? Distant shores. So there's that 18 again of the moon and the false light. The ripple effect as it gets bigger and bigger, growing to the full moon, as that's where we are now, right? We're going from the new moon to the full moon. Right? Yeah, I think it's around the 27th is the full moon. So distant shores, because we're not quite there yet, but this also can be across the seas, emotional seas. And here's the purple and the emerald, right? The indigo and the emerald energies of the heart and the third eye. And how dark that can be sometimes. And she is the moon. Look at all that moon energy here. The 21 is the world. But the world was reversed in the middle of this read. Right? She is not the moon. The moon is the false light. And these two more cards want to be seen, but I want to show you the bottom of the deck first. So look at all the purple energies here. The woman of light is 49, the Get Your Wish card. And she's taking in all the light coming in. And look at all this energy. It's so purple. It's so, third eye. Sometimes it can be too much. The woman getting the 9 of Cups, getting their wish of having the light shown on them and streaming in. And here you see the streams are still coming. See all the streams around her? And in this card, they're still coming, but from the moon. Right? The false light, the distant shores of the 18 and the anxiety that just came up. She is not the moon, because the world is reversed in this read. She is the light. And we go and notice how the next card changes the colors, but it's very similar in energy because we have the moon again there in the middle, okay? The moon rippling out here, but then here it's more contained. She is not that moon. And you see how the moon's getting smaller and smaller. We went from 4 and rippling out to everyone, that energy, making the third eye and heart very disturbed and anxiety ridden. And then here we're taking that away. The moon becomes smaller and smaller as the colors change. You see that? This goes from cool colors to warm colors, the greens and golds, whereas here's more the purples and whites. It's warming up here to dream a little with the King of Swords upright in his integrity here. Very interesting. And after these cards comes 3 more wanted to be seen with the ethereal touch of the 27, which I just said is the full moon coming. You need that very light touch, the ethereal touch, when there's a heavy full moon. And then drop into your heart of the magenta and gold, right? The heart and high heart. And the sacred connection, again, the twin flames coming up, right? Same as the other deck, the 28, the victory. And again, this reminds me of the Twin Towers Memorial, where then the buried underground actually rises with the Pleiadians coming in, because I got a vision a couple years ago about the Pleiadian ship meeting at the Statue of Liberty with all the angels at the base of the statue. Okay, so sacred convergence here at the full moon with the ethereal touch of the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands was reversed in this read. So it's not, the ignition isn't time yet. There's maybe some frustrations, a lot of anger issues coming up. The 68 of the Page of Pentacles, the need to ask for help perhaps, the need of help, money, and opportunity, or the one who never learns. Drop into your heart and connect again. The ethereal touch when you're frustrated. Lighten up by dropping into your heart, changing the color scheme here. And look how all three of these are so very different, coming into sacred convergence of the twin flames. The spectacle of it all. When all gather around to see. Oh, look at that too, right? The 27th is the full moon. I don't know if that's the exact day of the moon, but with the 28th too, there's a very significant energy here from the 27th to the 28th of this month. Right? Because we have the Page of Pentacles in between. 2, 6, 7, 8. It's a heartbeat between, right? Because it's drop into your heart. The ethereal touch and the sacred convergence, which is the coming together, right? And it's like making love, right? The ethereal touch is the soft touch, and then the convergence, right, is the making of love. And then in between there is dropping into your heart. The making of love. We have 80, 96, 123. 123 is 1, 2, 3, jump. There you go. 1, 2, 3, jump. All right. So what we're going to read is the 18 of the moon. The moon is definitely very significant in the read here and in the cards here. So 18, let's see what that says. Distant shores. Your soul's yearning for more. The divine is all, and there's no limits to what can be experienced by the soul. The soul is so hungry for divine reunion, then it will seek out whatever is needed to get there, even if it means journeying to strange or exotic shores for expanded experience. You may be feeling the soul impulse as an urge to travel or try something new, which is funny because I'm just planning my trip to take my parents' ashes out west. To let go of the limitations of your mind and how you see your current life, and to begin to see the new in what was once familiar. The art of the passionate soul is to be able to see that which is new and fresh, even in what is known, though sometimes we can use the help of a fresh vista to inspire the mind to open and the heart to be ready to receive more. And this parallels too with talking about the labels and needing to label the unknown so it's no longer unknown anymore. It's time for you to reach for the distant shores that are calling to you now, beloved. Don't pack your bags with too much, though. You'll travel light and easy with less baggage, and you'll need plenty of space to receive that which is new. This oracle brings you a message. You will benefit greatly from travel right now. You may travel through the mind, reading journals of faraway lands or times, or watch a film that transports you. Moving your body to a different place is another way. Bringing fresh energy by unplugging you for a short time from what you know to plug you into a different circuit so that you may receive different energy. So when the opportunity to travel arises for you soon, whether it be a jaunt far away or a day in a different place, take it. Don't worry if it doesn't seem practical. The divine is so much more important, intelligent, and capable of genius than what mere logic would have us believe. And the poem reads, I waited for dawn, not wanting to go, but knowing I soon would have to leave. I waited for the first light, listening, joining with you on each breath and each exhale. I watched as morning came, and you gently stirred, knowing our love was not measured in time, not the minutes that quickly passed or the hours as departure approached. How I wanted to linger, how I wanted to tell you that this moment would last forever, and whisper one more time, I love you. And then you held me and said it first, and goodbye no longer mattered. Well, there you go. Make sure to drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and do only what you want to do. I love you guys. As always, rise and be love. I will see you very soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.